right. Good morning, everybody. I'm a big fan of being on time. So thanks all for being here at this stage. I know there's still some people joining, but we'll get started and we've got quite a bit to cover this morning. So welcome to our latest Monday.com user group. For those who've been before, thanks and good to see you here again. For those who have joined us new, great to have you here. We do these every month. We try and cover different features, functionality with Monday that might be useful for you and give you an insight into new product development, new little features we found, new things that we like about Monday and how it works. Today's going to be a little different in that we're focusing on a specific integration with Monday. So one of the great things with Monday.com is you can integrate Monday into other tools that you're using, which gives you way more functionality, better sharing between teams and departments across the business. So today we're going to address specifically an integration with HubSpot and actually show you how we use HubSpot as part of our marketing efforts, integrated with Monday, and how we manage all of that. So we'll move on and I'll show you a little bit more about what we're going to do. So just briefly, my name is Martin from Providence CRM. Along with me today, we've got our marketing manager, Letitia, and Trevor, who is our HubSpot expert on the call today as well. Trevor's also with Provident. So you're going to hear from all three of us today, and we'll address different aspects of it. About 30 minutes. If you have questions that you've submitted already in the registration, we'll get to those towards the end. If you have other questions that come up along the way, please do type them in the chat, or equally when we get to the discussion at the end, please open your mic and ask them. Then we are recording this. We'll share it with you afterwards. We'll also send you a survey afterwards just for feedback. We really appreciate any feedback you can give us. Always useful to understand what your thoughts are on what we've done today. So let's move into the actual content of what we're going to talk about today. So for those of you who aren't maybe familiar with Monday.com, Monday.com is a work management work OS system, which is here in the middle of the slide. And we've got on top of that various different end-to-end products to run the core of your business. So my dog's going to bark in a second, so if you hear some noise in the background, apologies for that. We've got different projects that address different parts of the business. So there is Monday Projects for managing projects, Monday Dev for development teams, Monday Sales and CRM, which is obviously focused at sales teams, and Monday Marketeer, which is focused for marketing teams. What we're going to show you then today is mostly focused around marketing and how we're using HubSpot as our content outreach platform. Trevor can probably explain it better than I can, and how we use that across different to manage the events. So let me pass you over now to Trevor, and he can explain a little bit about how we use HubSpot.
Hey, thanks, Martin. So HubSpot is a marketing tool we use here at Provident to take people on the journey from stranger to customer. As some of you on today's session will have been attracted to the event by landing pages or sequences that our marketing team have been using within their own marketing processes within HubSpot. Thanks to Martin for inviting us here this morning, and I'm looking forward to having Letitia speak about how she's running events using both Monday and HubSpot.
Hi, Trevor. Hey, Martin. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys had a lovely Valentine's Day. And it does look like we're all in the same room, but I'm actually connecting today from São Paulo, Brazil. It is 8 a.m. And please do let me know if my internet connection starts to break, and I'll try to just go back a little bit. So the way our small marketing team used to manage all of our events was mainly through disconnected communications tools, meetings, emails, and Excel spreadsheets. So in summary, we centralize our marketing activities for events using HubSpot, which is our marketing automation platform. And the first step after we had this brief meeting would be to create an event landing page on our website with a HubSpot form embedded to it. So we would use that to collect registrations. We create and schedule our social media posts to promote the event using HubSpot, and as well as drafting, scheduling, and automating marketing emails campaigns. So in a separate CSV file, I would export a list of registrations from HubSpot and would share that with our stakeholders via email. So I'm sure most of you must be familiar with just having those emails get lost in your stakeholders' inboxes. So for these reasons, and as we are a remote team, it became just too challenging to stay on top of everything and just keep track of any changes or overdue tasks. So my team was already using monday.com to manage all of our department's projects. So it was just a no-brainer to implement a new process and just use monday.com as the platform to manage our events and also collaborate with our stakeholders in monday.com. If you can go to the next one. Yeah.
Okay, great. So can you speak a little bit about how we actually looked at integrating both of these to find a solution for your issue here, Leticia?
Absolutely. So yesterday when we were practicing for this session, Martin said something that reminded me of a marketing analogy that I love. So is when you look at everything that we produce in HubSpot, it's like looking at a duck in a lake. So the duck that you see over water is all the beautiful communication assets and everything that you receive, the emails and social media posts. And under the water, the food doing all the hard work is actually what's happening in Monday. So that's how we're putting them together. So what I can do now is just share my screen with you and show you how our Monday platform works and how that's connected with HubSpot. So just bear with me, just one sec. And can you let me know if you see my event planning board?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, cool. So we start with this event planning board in Monday. So what happens here is at the planning stage, we have all the activities and tasks that we need to complete to actually deliver the event. So we can just add anything that's needed. For anybody who's not familiar with this, you can just create your event management template from one of the ready to use and then adjust it according to your company's needs, or you can just create one from scratch. So here I have all of my tasks and I can just assign the responsibilities. I can define the deadlines and I can just check the status. I can also have a budget column just to control everything that's planned and everything that's been actually spent. So what I will show you now is the integration between HubSpot and Monday. So I have here an RSVP board, and this RSVP is going to collect all the data that I am pulling from my HubSpot forms. So the reason why we're using HubSpot forms to collect registrations is, like as I mentioned before, our marketing automation platform is HubSpot. So every time someone registers, they will get an automated email just to confirm that we've received their registration. So here we have an event landing page. Do you see it now?
Yeah, we're seeing that here.
Okay, cool. So for my event landing page, I have embedded here my HubSpot form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect, sorry, Katie, if I just spelled that wrong. I'm going to collect this. And
So
Katie wants to know.
Sorry, this would be a form most people would probably have seen, I guess, to get here to this event today. Yeah, they would have filled in something similar. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This is just how. So we're going to be promoting this landing page or this form via. It could be social media or email marketing, and people would, for them to be able to join the event, they would just need to submit this form. And like we're collecting the essential information that we need, but again, any company can just use HubSpot to collect any data that that's required for their use case. So after I submit this form, this person will then get a confirmation email, and I will have all that information in HubSpot, but also because I'm integrating it with Monday, I would then be able to see this here as well. So I'll show you now how I created this integration. So in the integration button here, if you go and add a new integration, you will find HubSpot here. So you will see the built-in integration options for HubSpot. So it depends on how your company is managing that information from HubSpot. You can either just manage all of the leads that are created in HubSpot. You can manage deals. You can manage companies. So in this case, I'm managing the contacts. So when I'm collecting the registrations from my form, that form will then feed an active contact list within HubSpot. And that list is the connecting tissue between HubSpot and Monday. So I will show you now how my integration looks like. So when a contact is created in my contact list, this will then create an item and sync all future changes from HubSpot. So the cool thing about this integration is that you can just collect any property that you have in HubSpot. So here, what I'm doing now, every time that an item is created, it's going to be created in this group, the group of registrants. I am collecting here people's first name, last name, their email. I can collect their company name, their company size, their job title, phone numbers. And if you need something different that you need to map out, you can just add a column, and then you can just select all the properties that you need, and then you hit done, and then the integration is created. So now, do you see here that Katie just joined my nice form? So here I have all the necessary information from Katie, and I can also then track anybody who's attended my event. I have all the information that I need here. And also you can see here the HubSpot ID that's created from that integration. So what I also have here to show you is after the event takes place, I can also collect feedback. So I'll be collecting feedback actually from a Monday form. So the Monday forms, they're very editable. So you can just use your own brand, you can change the colors, and you can just collect all the information that you need. So you can have short text for the name, you can have email addresses, you can have a rating system, drop-down menus, long text form, anything that you need. And then you just share this with your attendees, and then you can collect feedback in real time. And one thing that I just didn't mention before, but it applies to all of your boards, is that you can actually invite your stakeholders to join your board. So let's say I don't need to be extracting this information and sharing it as an attachment and just hoping for someone to pick it up. I can just add the stakeholders within my company, outside of my company, and they will have access to the same information in real time. And it's everything at their fingertips. And we can also collaborate here. So if I notice that Katie is an important prospect, I can just go there and I can tell Martin, look who has just registered for our event.
And could I ask Letitia, with that where you've highlighted Martin there, I'm assuming he's going to get some sort of notification to let him know that there's an update that's relevant to him that needs to be actioned on the Monday board.
That's correct. So Martin will get an app notification, or he will also get an email notification. It all depends on how he's setting up his notifications for Monday.
The most important thing is you're not having to chase him down and ask these questions, that all these things are just happening in real time. So it looks like you've saved a ton of time and obviously work for yourself with that automatic lead capture and having it flow into the board. I would ask Martin, like with your experience with Monday, Martin, what's your thoughts on what Leticia has built here?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. And what I thought was interesting, if I'm not mistaken, Leticia, you're able to pull in more data about the contact from HubSpot than they'd filled in on the form. Is that right?
That's correct. So if I already have that contact registered in HubSpot and I have complete information from that person, I can just map it out between HubSpot and Monday without any issues.
So the example there being that we might have someone who's registering for an event. We've already perhaps dealing with that company, or we've got that company in our database, and we can pull through information then on that company over and above the data that they filled out on the form.
Yes, that's correct. So what I will also show you here is our event dashboard. So from this dashboard, I have a high-level overview of everything that's happening. So I can just check the number of registrants and the number of attendees. I can see here very quickly all the budget that I had available and all the budget that was spent. And I could just add charts and any information that you need to track your event success.
Could I ask as well, Leticia, just like with the integration, we saw you pulling that info from HubSpot into Monday. Is there a setup or possibility for you to have that information go back in the other direction as well?
Actually, unfortunately, the integration is only one way, so it's only coming from HubSpot into Monday. But if there's a requirement for you to have that two-way integration, our experts at Providence CRM are very capable, and they would be happy to build that tailored integration for anybody.
Okay, perfect. So thanks a million, Leticia, there for pulling the curtain back on some of our processes here at Providence CRM. I love what you've done. It looks like you saved a huge amount of time with those integrations. And I know myself day to day, I'll get notifications from Leticia about updates on Monday boards for various customers. So it's a great way to collaborate from my point of view as well. So thanks for that. Thank you,
guys. I'm just having a problem here to stop sharing. If you could help me.
We'll try.
I think I managed.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Great, really interesting to see. You said I just kind of turn up to these. I'm not aware of what happens in the background, so it's interesting to see how that comes together. So that's great, Leticia. Thank you for that. I guess the point really being that this is just an example of one integration with Monday. There are lots of different integrations out of the box with Monday, which you'll find in the integration part of Monday. So it's just an example of one, how we use that to smooth and streamline our processes and save time across them. So it's quite a good one. There are lots of other ones that are in there. For example, there's a Salesforce integration where if you happen to be using Salesforce as your CRM and you want to then hand over for example, a closed one project into Monday to then manage that project process or product delivery process in Monday, that can be done. And then, as Leticia mentioned, we have the capability then also of customizing or further enhancing those integrations to do two-way back and forth communication, or indeed to integrate with other tools where there may not be an out-of-the-box integration already available. But really interesting to see that. So thank you, Leticia. So now we're going to kind of come on to the question and answer part of today. So really just to see any questions you might have, which you might have shared beforehand or you'd like to talk to us about now, we'd be happy to run through any of those. So I see some here coming up, so let me just get them up here. Okay, there's a question about quick overview of using Monday for event management. So I think that probably goes back to the board that you were showing already.
Yeah. Do you want to share that on your side, or do you want me to go back and share it?
I will stop presenting if you want to share that quickly.
Okay, sure. So where is it? Do you see it now? Event planning?
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So here is really just managing those tasks. You can create the new tasks that you need here, even sub-items. And here in the owner column, you can just assign the responsible people to completing that. And here is the deadline column. So it is like a little calendar, and you can just define the deadlines that you need for each and every task. And here in the status column, then you will then track the status. So you don't need to be chasing people up or sending them an email. You can just go there and check. Is there something specific that you need to be shown?
Oh, hi there. No, we found out about Monday through using fundraising, and so just wanted to know a little bit more about the platform.
Yeah, so I can answer some of that for you. So there's lots of templates within Monday for all kinds of different aspects. So, for example, an event planning template, which the teachers made use of here. There are lots of other templates for lots of other use cases that can be used in Monday. So if you're not already using Monday, then we can enable a free trial for you where you can try it out, and we can help then with setting that up for you as well. I'm trying to share my screen, but for some reason I cannot at the moment. Oh, here we go.
You're not going to have a little lie down when you've done that.
So for example, in here, you can see here we can go into templates and we can pick from some of the pre-existing templates that exist. We've got various different product ones. We've got our marketing templates in here. So we can have a marketing plan, content calendar, campaign planning, event management exists as a template. You can add that into your account and we can go from there.
That's great. Thank you. I think we would definitely like to sign up to a free trial and have a bit of dedicated time with you guys.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll send you some details afterwards and we can arrange a direct call then with you if that makes sense.
Fab. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sorry, we've got some other questions, but I'm struggling to see my screen now at the moment. So if someone wants to read the questions to me, I'll do my best to answer them.
Sure. They're asking, we're currently trialing Monday, mainly for scheduling our engineers. Would like to know a little more about color coding the calendar.
Okay, sure. So if you've got an example, let me show you. So if we look at our projects product, for example, here I have my projects. I've got a range of different projects here, and I've got people assigned to them. So these are my upcoming active projects with some details around what they're doing. And in here, then I can associate project managers with different projects. Then once I've done that, then I can have a look from a timeline perspective and see what that looks like for those for those different projects. This is currently set up to show by type of project, but I can edit this and have it instead to be by person, and I can color code them by person. So instead of grouping by currently as it is now, this should be grouped by project type. Instead, I could group this by project manager. And then as I assign them, then I could see different colors on them here. So for example, if I go back into my default view here, I'm going to assign project managers into here. So myself here, I'm going to put in Lee here, and then I'll be able to reflect that then on my timeline by different colors by listing it against the project manager. We could also put in place then a calendar view if we wanted to. So there's lots of different ways that we can do that. So I can do calendar, I can do timeline, different ways of doing that. And then it's quite easy to customize it by person, by color. So at the moment, again, all configured by project, all in the same color, but I can change those by going into settings here and configuring how I want it displayed and equally how I want it colored. So I can color it by board, by project manager. They're all the same. I need to configure this a bit further to do that for you, but it's perfectly possible to change it and have it by color. Another view that might be useful actually in regard to this is the workload view. So this allows us to see by person what they're assigned against. And apologies, I haven't configured this in advance, so it's not quite set up, but we can basically, this allows us to see by person, by resource, how much effort and capacity they have, what percentage of workload they've got set up their capacity and allows us to assign projects to people who have the most spare capacity. So happy to go into more detail on that specifically when I have something set up, but I hope that gives you some answer of that. There's a question, I think, about Salesforce integration. That was related to Monday, yes. So what I mean by that is that if we go into the integration aspect here, here's the integration center, and here's where we can pick the various different integrations that we can connect to Monday. So Letitia showed you earlier on how we can connect HubSpot. Here's the HubSpot integration that Letitia showed you. There is as well, you can see here lots of other out-of-the-box integrations, of which Salesforce is one. We can also further customize that. So, for example, it may be that the Salesforce integration will only pull through out-of-the-box fields and objects from Salesforce. You may have a customized version of Salesforce, so we can help you adapt that to fit your specific needs as well.
Thanks, Martin. Just on that, would that be something that we like? Would the integration need to be done working with you guys, or is it fairly straightforward in terms of just going into that area and picking the relevant section and we work through it ourselves?
Yeah, I suppose, look, the thing with Monday is the idea is very much is that it's something you can do yourselves, but accepting that not everybody may have the knowledge or the time to do that. So you can absolutely set up an integration in here by clicking on this and following the instructions. Generally speaking, it's pretty straightforward. Equally, if you need help with it or you want to customize it further or you want some advice on it, get in touch and happy to run through it directly with you as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Martin, I just see a question here about they're asking why use Monday form for feedback rather than Hub. My point of view here is just that we want to collect feedback that's not just quantitative, but very qualitative. And I want to evolve our team as much as possible. So the reason why we collect feedback, we create our little survey using our Monday form is just to have that information to keep improving our events. So if that's something more specific to a marketing campaign, we would probably be using HubSpot for that. But just because we're managing all of the events in Monday, that's why we're using that to collect feedback and then just act on anything that needs to be changed.
I guess another good point on that as well is that obviously we can take the leads then, or the attendees that have come in, the registrants to our event, and we can bring them over then, if we're using Monday as a CRM, we can bring that over then into our leads within Monday as well. So for example, I can take all these registrants now and I can say, right, I'm going to move all of these to a board. So I'm going to move them to my CRM workspace and bring them all across into a lead process if I then want to kick off into the sales process following my marketing event, which I've had today.
And there's another question here. I think that's for Trevor. If there's a huge difference between HubSpot and Eventbrite?
Eventbrite, yeah. Trevor there.
Yeah, well, with HubSpot, you have the potential to actually bring in all elements of your company. It's not just for promoting events. You can run your social media campaigns through there. You've got your email nurturing campaigns in there, your SEOs, your blogs. So HubSpot's really like a system to run your whole inbound marketing and methodology off. So you've got all these different functions rather than just promoting an event through it. And it also allows you to collaborate if you need to with your sales team, with your service team. So it's a much more expansive system than you would get with something like Eventbrite. It's much more than just for events. It's really for all facets of your business, and really is designed around that inbound methodology that really allows you to attract customers through valuable content and engaging content that's going to help build your brand with them over the long term and not just around running specific events through it.
Thanks, Trevor. So I think that's pretty much all we've got time for today. We always seem to run out of time on these. Maybe we need to run a bit longer on these. So look, thank you all for attending. Really appreciate the questions as well. If there are things that we didn't get to cover for you today and you got further questions on them, my email's on the screen there. Please feel free to get in touch, or equally I'll put you in touch with Trevor or Letitia as necessary. We will send out the recording as I discussed. We'll also include a link to the survey, which you now goes into Monday, just for your feedback on that. Really appreciate it. We will, of course, be running our next Monday user group again Wednesday, the second Wednesday of February next month. So please do register for that. Share it with any colleagues, friends, family who might be interested as well. And look forward to seeing you on the next one. So thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it.